Hey, this is Jason Creel and you're watching A Lawn Care Life. Today I want to show you the third video in a series where we're talking about renovating this Bermuda yard. Now if you've seen the other two videos, this yard when I took it on early this spring was very thin, had a lot of weeds, and now we've done one fertilizer treatment and done some weed control, and the Bermuda's starting to fill in. Let's do a little flashback of what this yard looked like on the previous two videos to see the progress that it's made. Today is the start of a journey, and it's a journey of turning this ugly lawn behind me into a nice lawn. Bermuda yard, late February, and what you see here, let me show you the Bermuda grass just to show you. You know, you do have Bermuda here, and it's still dormant even though we're getting warmer temperatures, but the warmer temperatures have made the weeds go crazy. I mean, we're looking at just about every cool season weed I commonly see is in this one lawn, and mostly cool season weeds, probably a lot of crabgrass carcasses from last year, but fortunately I'm able to get my pre-emergent down today that is before the crabgrass is germinated, so I should be fine on preventing the vast majority of crabgrass for this year. So like I said, I think over the next few weeks we're going to see a lot of these cool season weeds die from this application, and then we'll work on getting that Bermuda grass to start filling in. So let's check out the lawn, see what kind of shape it is, and then we'll talk about what are the next steps for this particular lawn. Okay, so here's sort of an overview of the lawn. You can see this is being filmed in late April. So I started on this lawn a couple months ago, sprayed a pre-emergent, post-emergent to try to get rid of the majority of the weeds. And you can see a lot of these big brown spots is actually where a lot of the weeds, you know, basically died. And what I'm encouraged to see is even with the dead weeds here, you got little sprigs of Bermuda, and that's good. That's a really good sign, because that Bermuda will spread very aggressively over the next few months. Let me show you the fertilizer I'm using today. So if you watch my videos, I buy my fertilizer and most of my weed control products from Harold's. Today I'm going to be putting out a 23-5 blend, so 20% nitrogen. The fertilizer I'll put out next time will have a higher nitrogen content, be more slow release. This fertilizer, I'm trying to get the grass going. This is what I would use just on Bermuda lawns this time of year, and then come back later with a slow release fertilizer with a higher nitrogen content. So what I want to do today is to look at the weeds that are in the yard now. We're going to do a heavy fertilizer application and see what we need to do to get some of these weeds under control. So let's check out the condition of the yard. At the time of this video is June. All right, so you know, the Bermuda is still not where we're obviously trying to get it to be, but it is improving. I mean, compared to how it was a couple months ago, and that's fertilizer, rain, warm weather. But today I'm going to put a lot more fertilizer on it, and I'm anticipating a lot of growth over the next couple months, especially if we get proper rainfall. So, but you know, with a yard like this, it's been real thin. It's expected to have weeds in it, and we have got a variety to show you today. So, one, look at this patch of Kalinga here. It's got the little spiky ball on top of it. Looks kind of like nutsedge, but this is a huge patch of Kalinga. Then you come over here, have another huge patch of chamber bitter. Looks kind of like a baby mimosa tree, but anyway, a lot of chamber bitter in this yard. Come over here. Got plenty of Virginia buttonweed. These are a lot of the common weeds that deal with during the summer months. Then one of the biggest patches of nut sedge that I've ever seen. And I'm pretty sure that this is almost all yellow nut sedge, which is supposedly easier to control than purple nut sedge, so I'm excited about that. But just covered in nut sedge. And then of course, one of my arch enemies got still Dallas grass hanging around. So what we're going to do today, like I said, a heavy fertilizer application. I'm using a slow release fertilizer, a 3806 blend. I'm going to apply it at about 2.5 pounds per 1,000 square feet and see if we can get this Bermuda to really start growing. I'm going to also, and I was looking at, you know, the type weeds here. I've got several options as far as what to spray it with. I mean, normally on a yard this time of year, I'd fertilize and I'd just go around spot treating the weeds. But because of this unbelievable amount of nut sedge and some of these common weeds, I think I'm going to actually use the hose on my truck and spray this yard, or at least the weeds in the yard, with a product called Surge, which does a pretty good job on the yellow nut sedge and should, you know, on the Kalinga, some of these other weeds. And then we might spot treat the Dallas grass with a combination of Celsius and Certainty. And then if there's some crabgrass, I think I saw a little bit of that. I've got a little bit of solitaire mixed up that I can knock out the crabgrass with. So, all right, I've actually got a cameraman today, so y'all can let's get to it. Put some fertilizer out on this yard and spray the weeds and see what happens. What we're going to do, I've decided to do, I'm going to actually put some spray in my tank here on the machine, and I'm going to spray a combination of MSM turf plus change up at very low rates. That should do a number on the chamber bitter and the Virginia buttonweed. And then I've got the Surge in my big spray tank. I can use that more for the nut sedge and the Kalinga. So let's do it. We're going to keep checking on this lawn, see what kind of progress it makes over the next few months. Hopefully this fertilizer and rain will help that Bermuda fill in. Maybe we can get the nut sedge under control and some of these other weeds. You know, and as the grass thickens up, it's going to help as far as the weed control goes. If you hadn't done so, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. I continue to provide helpful videos. You can check out these suggested videos popping up for you now. Thanks a lot.